welcome to the Hat Chat podcast with your hosts, Chris Trott,
Ross Hornby,
and Alex Smith. That's my voice at the end. There's three of us.
Thank you.
That's really good.
That's good.
That's great. What a that's brilliant.
A lot of people can't tell us apart.
Even now.
I struggle. It's been a little bit, so
Bit of a gap, yeah.
Hope you've all enjoyed your time away from us, but now you're back. Back as part of this cult.
Are we starting a cult? We keep threatening to start a cult, but we haven't actually started one.
We don't
yet,
have
so don't worry, you're
enough
not
momentum for a cult anymore.
No, I don't
Everyone's too
think so.
tired for a cult.
We should have started a cult earlier in our career.
Much earlier, yeah. I think we did, really, didn't we? With the whole
Within
Hand
which
of
period
Truth.
of 14 years, which year do you think that
was
should have
really
happened in?
prime for culting?
6th year? Maybe 5th?
2015?
2015 would have been a good year to start a cult. To be fair, I think that was around the time we started Hand of Truth, which was the optimal time to start a cult.
I feel like misinformation and post-truth society is even more rife now. I think you could get away with being more of a cult leader.
Do you think we had a hand in it?
spouting utter shit. Probably.
Do you think we had a hand in spouting utter
Likely.
shit?
We spout utter shit all the time.
Well,
so
We've made it our
That's
job.
just it, isn't it?
We've actually made it our job
cesspool
to
that
do
is.
that.
But
That's
yeah,
what this is. That's what we're doing now.
contributing to the cesspool.
We're creating shit.
This is
No,
Hat
no.
Chat, our semi-annual
Yeah,
podcast.
semi-annual.
That will come out sometimes.
There was a gap. I don't know how many days there were. Weeks, sorry. 3
The
weeks.
previous episode was 193. We're 194 now.
That's correct.
We are so close to 200, and we will definitely hit 200.
What, this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we will.
Absolutely.
What, 6 more in this
In
year?
6
Nothing
months?
If not,
No, 6.
Prolific.
Well, yeah, well, definitely.
One a month's not impossible, is it?
I'd say would you call us the cockroach of
YouTube.
Of YouTube.
The cockroaches of English YouTube, yeah.
We're never done.
We just keep surviving.
We're still here.
We're still here, regardless.
Somehow.
You may not like cockroaches, but we're still
Yeah.
here.
Like cockroach. Yeah, we're not thriving. Like,
We're still cockroaches.
but we're still cockroaches. Just in the
Here we are.
Better a roach than a nothing.
Sorry that we still persist. Anyway,
Why has there been a
aside from
gap?
that-
I can't remember why there was a gap.
Just
Things.
lots of things going on, isn't there?
It's always
As you all
things.
know, if you're an avid Hat Films fan, if you only listen to this podcast, hello. Interesting. I wouldn't expect you exist, but thanks for tuning in for purely this podcast. We hope you enjoy it. Yeah, we've been doing lots of things as part of Hat Films. We used to talk about Hat Films updates, but then we kind of realized people don't actually find that interesting because they've usually seen it all. But we did Saturday Live recently, which was our recreation of childhood
That was last week. Yeah.
love, which is Saturday Live television, which none of us watch anymore, I'm guessing. Any of you watch,
Is there
like-
even anything?
Well, not like...
What Saturday morning television is there?
There must be kids stuff.
not like a whole show that's
Kids still
live.
exist.
Yeah,
can't
sure.
remember
But
last
it's
time
all
we
like, well,
watched
Craig
Saturday morning TV?
is here. He's not piped in, but you just nod and shake your head. Is there a live show on Saturdays for kids?
He's
He's
shaking.
nodding,
He's nodding.
actually.
He's not. I don't think he's sure.
He's
I don't think
shrugging
he's
as well.
shrugging.
I
He's
don't
shrugging as well.
really-
Like, is there?
It's hard
And
to
not just for
tell.
kids, for young adults, right? Because I think stuff
Yeah.
like SMTV Live was really hitting that point where you're
Like
becoming a
school time,
teenager.
yeah.
You still like kiddie shit. You still got a simple sense of humor, but you like a bit of edge. You like to see funny things that slightly older people are doing.
Either way, we're bringing that magic back.
Yeah.
And we brought it back last Saturday, and it was a special time. It's our third one doing this. So at this point, it's a really refined beast, I'd say. Craig put a lot of effort into it behind the scenes, and we've had probably our best praise of like the most successful Saturday yet.
That's good. I mean, that's an improvement.
So
We
it-
should be improving really each
Oh,
time.
absolutely. And
Like-
we literally, hence why we're wearing a suit, we just did a meeting with our members, who are the people that have subscribed to us
Yeah.
with hard-earned money, and gave a debrief, and Craig put out a survey, and we kind of went through all that data as to how you thought it went, and we're taking on board all that feedback. So, you know,
And we're
So
also doing
it's-
political speeches after this as well.
each
Each of us are
About what?
separate events.
If you had to do a political, let's do a political speech right now. Not even after it. What are you talking about? What's your theme?
capitalism's dead is my one.
Yours is
That's
capitalism's
yours.
dead. What do you think there's something new coming, or do you think that there
No,
is
we're fucked
because capitalism's
because
dead?
there's no plan for after this.
Right, yeah.
So how would you open that? You think
Shit.
bad news, everyone?
I'd look panicked into the camera.
Because that's a really good, hire him in, bring everyone down.
Fuck.
What
It's
do
all
they do? What
fucked.
do they do? Like, obviously, because ex-prime ministers and stuff do speeches all the time. What the
Yeah.
fuck are they doing?
What with the speeches?
Yeah.
They're just
Chatting shit.
I don't think they're chatting shit. I think
What
they're
do you think Boris Johnson's doing?
chatting shit.
Exactly.
He was chatting a lot.
He's
of
chatting
shit.
shit. He's just
He was
waffling.
chatting a
They
lot
shouldn't.
of shit.
Blah, 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 Brexit.
chatting a lot of shit, and
Yeah.
also the buffoon in the US as well is also doing the same thing. A lot of chatting shit, isn't there?
It does happen, doesn't it? Yeah.
There's a lot of chatting shit. Actually, you're right.
Hence
Yeah.
why we do Hat Chat, which is just, again, contributing to that cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make it educational.
This isn't the
Have
same.
you got a fact?
Well,
Have I got a fact? Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
loads of facts actually.
I think that's put him on the spot, though. What facts do you have?
Let's think of a
Something
good
that you've
one.
learned recently is like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, there was something. Yes. So there were more people living in Ireland in the 18th century than there are now.
Why is that?
The Great Famine
Right,
that led
potato
to them
famine,
going to
right.
the US.
Okay.
But even now,
grim.
with all this prosperity and with all these modern medicine and all this sort of stuff, there are less people in Ireland than there were in the 18th century.
Now, why do you think that is?
Immigration to other places. They have very
I heard most of the people
Good.
died on the
Decent.
Titanic.
most of them.
Most.
That's crazy.
How many Irishmen
well,
can
are
you
we-
fit in an engine room?
Honestly, no. It was, well, that's why it sank. It wasn't because it hit
Too
the
many Irish
iceberg.
people in the engine
It wasn't
room.
because it hit the iceberg.
That's a
this-
way weird take.
This is the controversy about it.
Yeah.
They were just overloaded at the bottom with
I feel like
loads and loads of Irish.
you're trying to balance a fact with insanely spurious, nonsensical
It
shit.
is a fact. And things you can't. Well, you haven't checked the Titanic, have
I
you?
haven't checked.
Why don't you build your own submarine?
I might.
And get down there.
I reckon.
I've got a Logitech controller right over there, and I think you can use it.
I don't think we're going to find many bodies down there.
No.
They would have all been eaten by the crabs.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Picked clean.
Yeah, the little kind of sea urchins or whatever it is down there. That's that deep. It's quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't swim down there,
I heard it
No.
was pretty deep.
but you could
Take a sub down there.
take a submarine down there.
You couldn't.
People have.
I'm really
James
into,
Cameron did it.
I'm
He
into
did.
subs more now than ever as well.
Oh, really?
I watched so many videos
It's
about
crazy
submarines.
to me because
How many videos are you
you're
watching?
individually, you're getting more scared of flying.
Oh yeah,
You're
Are
getting
you really?
more interested in probably the more
dangerous
thing, which is submarines.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, if I go in a submarine and I dive, we go down, I'm like, this is wild. Like, this is like crazy. Diving is obviously an intense thing to do in a submarine. Even experienced submariners are all just like, yeah, we're doing a dive. And like, obviously in the back of our heads, we're always listening out for little creaks. But like in a plane, it's just meant to be like a regular like form of travel. So like for me, there's a difference there. It's like almost like I know what I'm signing up for with a submarine. Whilst with a plane, I'm like, fuck, too many of these are happening. Like odds are, right? You know, like one
Yeah.
That doesn't make any
EasyJet
sense.
slackened even further on their health and safety, and now somebody hasn't secured
I
a valve
see.
and half the wings on
When
fire.
was the last plane crash in the UK?
That's my theory, anyway. That's
Is
my
that what
logic.
is that what you're worried about, or is it just because
He's saying because it's so commercialized, people are cutting
Yeah.
corners for budget.
Yeah,
Whereas submarines, they're still like tightly
So
controlled
specialised that,
and
yeah.
specialized.
Right.
I wouldn't go in a billionaire submarine, but I would go on like a a navy
You'll
submarine.
go in an ocean.
Yeah,
Gate.
yeah, like a nuclear stuff.
Yeah,
Because
something like
it
that.
seems like that's probably been built
Head
with
down there all the
good
fucking
money.
time.
And they've been
over
they're so
time.
fucking old now that they've been tested long enough. You know, like
Yeah.
But doesn't that bring them closer to their demise?
Well, that's it. Well, surely you'd want to go in something that's been tried and tested
Yeah.
rather than a brand new one. Where you're
Yeah.
like, well, we don't really know if this is going to work. Good luck.
yeah.
I guess it is easy to bring a sub to the surface, repair it, put it back down, rather than say the ISS, which has to stay up in
Yeah.
space. You can't repair that.
The thing about planes is if they go wrong, they're falling out
They're
the sky.
coming down.
Well, the thing about submarines is if they go wrong, they also fall.
Do you think they could have like
yeah.
remotely controlled that submarine first, got it to the bottom, then bring it back up, and be like, all right, that worked? Do you reckon that should have been a good
They
test?
probably were doing testing like that. Yeah.
I haven't looked too much into the actual like prep.
What I don't get is if you keep
beforehand.
sinking, why don't you end up the other side of the world?
Why aren't you just going through a giant hole that goes straight to the
Yeah.
center of the Earth
Why have they not bored a hole?
through the
So
core
for
of the
these
Earth?
situations where submarines they sink, is like just find the clearest emergency hole and pop up the other side of the world.
The plug hole of the world.
Yeah.
Just go down to the plug hole, turn up on the other
And
side.
I imagine the pressure would suck you right through very quickly to the other side.
Because obviously when you get very much to the center, which gravitational pull are you being pulled further and further in
Yeah.
and then popped, like you say, pressure-wise, popped fully. I reckon the pressure would be so strong you'd be pushed out into space, if that was true.
That's insane.
Maybe, and then...
Yeah, it might happen.
But obviously
You build up
none of
enough.
us are physicists and none of us have even looked up this idea at all.
I'll Google it.
But all I know is that apparently the worst UK air disaster in recent history was in 1989 in Kegworth.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What was the plane?
Kegworth air disaster. This involved a British Midland Airways Boeing 737.
Boeing.
Bowen.
737.
Crashed attempting an emergency landing at East Midlands Airport. Since that date, UK and Irish Airlines have had an unparalleled safety record. So if you're flying to Scotland,
It's more the
breathe
where
a
you're
sigh of
flying
relief,
from
or
and to. That's the problem.
worry that it hasn't happened yet and the biggest one's yet to come.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
be
can really
enormous
throw an
crash.
anxiety spanner in the works here.
There it is.
Oh, wow. Nice. Some imagery of a
visual.
plane crash.
Um,
Fantastic. Thank
Doesn't
you,
look like it
Craig, for
landed well.
bringing that up on the stream. We can see
Those cars don't look real, do
Just-
they? Look how jokey those cars to the left look. Like,
they look
so
so
boxy.
silly.
We can't manufacture smooth.
That's
that's cool
not
looking
a fire truck. That's not real.
Sorry, he's looking. Describe the fire truck. That's from
That is
1989.
a cool looking fire
I
truck.
wish fire trucks looked like that.
It's very much Thunderbird looking.
It's amazing
so
that the fire truck is what you pulled out of this image.
That's
There is a
so
giant
cool.
plane on what looks like
Oh yeah,
a
the
bank.
plane's fucked. There's a plane in the background. Everyone's all over the place. There's luggage everywhere. What a surprise! A thing full of hundreds of people that's smashed into the ground has gone fucking everywhere. There's also
That's
a
a
really
bad
cool
crash.
fire engine.
That's a bad crash.
Yeah.
That is a toy I'd love as a kid. If they put that fire truck on a front of a box, it was like, I'd be all over that. Nowadays, they're flat.
So
Fire
it's
trucks. They're like they're literally trucks.
They are just squares. They're
They got no
cubes.
noses.
The rectangles. I want a
They're
nose.
like the pugs of the truck.
They are disgusting. They need a nose, otherwise they can't breathe. I've got another bit of another interesting factoid for you.
Oh shit! Okay, throw it at me.
Or do you want to do more aircraft?
We don't need to go deep into it. I mean, 118 passengers died.
Oh, did they?
Wait, no, 13.9 were killed outright in the crash.
And then the rest of them.
8 died later of their injuries, giving a total of 47 fatalities.
But people survived that crash.
79 survivors.
Incredible.
74 suffered
Despite
serious
that
injuries
wreckage.
and 5 suffered minor injuries.
Christ.
So there were survivors. That's very
And
good.
violent
Did you
kids,
see-
apparently.
sorry, the
minor
If
injuries.
you didn't see the picture because you're listening
That
to it,
plane
it was
was
pretty
fucked.
devastating. It looked like
That was just the tail.
it
I
looked-
wouldn't have believed
it looked
anyone survived
smushed
it.
into it in the side of a banked.
I'd be a terrible crash scene investigator. I'd be like, this is fucked. They're
That's
fucked.
so
Don't waste your
much-
time.
Don't waste it.
Go home. He's
don't bother
waving the
putting it
cars
out.
off.
Oh, this is all a fucking mess.
Let it burn off.
There's luggage everywhere.
Christ.
Do you reckon there
Yeah,
were
you're right.
people,
You would make a terrible investigator. He's just like, don't save a soul. Get out of
They
there.
can't survive that.
Don't risk your life
How
for
many
theirs.
opportunities do you think were there, like stealing luggage?
Luggage stealing.
What do you think I was there?
He was there looting.
This is the
I'm not a
80s.
crash scene
The
investigator.
professional plane crash
Shit,
looter.
noise cancelling headphones. Another pair.
You
Oh
were
my
like
God, some
1 year
boas.
old.
I would have been 1 year old.
It was in the 80s.
Cool.
wasn't
Crawling around the wreckage.
89, yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I was a tall kid.
And you were looking for noise cancelling headphones?
Yeah.
In the 89?
I think he's just fantasizing about the idea of looting a plane
What would
crash.
you loot? If
But, oh my
ended up
God,
looting
a
luggage.
Dolce
Whoa,
& Gabbana bag. Oh, look
I
at this.
know.
a
I'm
cheap
not-
bottle of vodka and another pair of noise cancelling headphones.
You don't go for the
Wow.
suitcases. You
Yep.
go for the onboard luggage because that's where people put their tech and where their important shit is, where they
Right.
want to keep close to.
Yeah, but in that picture, it was one and the same. It was all mushed together. The fact
You
there's
look
any
for the
survivors in that
small
picture was
suitcases.
insane.
I'd start searching the bodies for jewellery. Why stop there? No, here's another little fact for you.
The bodies did she loot the jewelry?
That's the real winner's ticket.
That's insane.
Tech in the suitcase, sure, but rings on the fingers, gold in the mouth.
Yeah. What finger?
I mean,
He's
they're pulling
wrenching
teeth.
teeth.
Can you
He's
put
like,
this guy out? I'm trying to pull his teeth out.
Yeah, that's gold. Jesus.
How deep in feet do you think the deepest river in the world is?
in feet.
Yeah, or meters, but I know it. I've memorized it in feet, so 'cause it's a bigger number.
Something
Of-
silly
of-
like
not an ocean.
No, river. So like a big river. I can tell you the river if you want. The River Congo is the deepest in the
Oh
world.
shit!
is it something like I don't know, I have no reference point at
It's a
all.
river,
300
6,000.
6,000 feet.
300.
Crazy number.
300.
It's not fun when you're an idiot.
Well, I said I
300
have no reference point.
6,000 feet.
You said big.
Well, here's a reference point. Should we find out how
Give me a-
fucking deep the Titanic is down? What is it, 3,000 meters?
Then 3,000 meters is my answer.
You think a river
Yeah, I don't know.
is... Well, I know you don't know.
I wanted to get. I thought you were going to say some
Did you like my
spectacular number,
guess?
like 6,000
What was
feet.
Mine
yours?
was 300.
300 feet was much more reasonable.
Okay, well let's bring mine down. I'll say
Ross, it's a river.
600 feet.
It's a river, and look up at
Oh,
the
it's the
ceiling.
EastEnders.
600 feet.
Right, that's the Congo. How tall do you reckon those trees are?
Ooh,
Oh, that's
3,000 feet.
How tall?
Good 3 or 4 feet.
How tall do you think the tallest tree is in the Congo?
I reckon
I don't know.
24 feet.
200 feet.
24.
Right in the sky. Right.
That's a skyscraper of a tree.
Right, the average height of a tree in the Congo
It's not in the thousands, is it? That's be
is
crazy.
around 130 feet.
That's crazy tall.
When I said 200, that wasn't actually there's
Not too far off.
outrageous as it seemed.
Pretty outrageous, but
you
not
started
too
with 3
bad.
or 4.
I'm throwing all sorts of numbers all over.
Right, now you've completely destroyed the reveal of the actual depth of the
What
deepest.
was it?
He said 300 feet.
I said 300.
Then I
Do you think that's
said
reasonable?
600 because that's crazy.
Remember when we dived and we did 20 meters?
We did 9.
When we did 20 meters. We got down to 20.
Oh, I did 19, I think.
Well, yeah, we did just below 20.
I
The
tickled.
legal amount. But we actually did like
Yeah, but it was
22.
quite easy to go over that.
It was
accidentally.
quite easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I started feeling a little weird.
My
Like,
ears hurt.
Cheers. Yeah. I started bleeding.
22 meters, so
there
that
it
was...
is.
The
so
nose
that-
bleed.
I reckon it's about 722 feet.
It is
specific.
700 feet deep. In some places, this river is 700 feet deep.
Oh,
So when I
that's
said
barely
600 after
1,000.
the insane one I said,
Yeah.
not too
Yeah,
bad.
but you already proved you had absolutely
no idea, no reference point,
reasoning
no
ability.
idea.
So at that point, you could have said any arrangement of numbers. 222.2.
0.2.
No, it's 700 feet
700
deep.
is a
That
lot.
blew my mind
That's a
because
lot.
I could work out how deep that was and
a lot.
what would be
Imagine
reasonable.
700 of your feet.
That's not how that measurements works. That's
Well, if it's a 12 inch, yours is probably
probably
about the
about
average
30
foot.
centimeters. Yeah.
It's 12 inches in the average foot.
Yeah.
And the average 12 inches is bigger than a 9, even though they fucking tell you that's the average. A 9. Size 9.
My left foot is 9.5. My right foot is a 10.
You're barely over the smallest size.
Are you not,
you,
are you
it's
not,
average.
are you not mystified by what he just told you?
What?
That his right foot is 9.5 and his left is a 10.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
How are you buying your
My-
shoes?
my
Are
shoes
you just
are-
going to go for the big and get a lot of
I go
space in the
for
right,
what?
or do you buy 2 pairs just
I
to
go for
really
one
get a
that
nice
doesn't rub.
comfy?
Yeah. But it's not much difference between 9.5
Not really,
and 10.
no.
Really.
What is the actual measurement between those two? In
It's about
centimeters?
3,000 feet, I think.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a good estimate.
That's a good
That's a good guess.
How long do you reckon the average foot is? I don't know, about 4,000 feet.
Just 4,000.
400.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Yeah, no, I'm a 13 on the left and a 12.5 on the right.
That's really cool.
That's a 48 for those
That's a
wondering. in
waste
Europe.
of material.
That's
isn't it?
that's
We should just go
unfortunate,
back
isn't
to fucking clogs.
All
mate.
my shoes look like clown shoes. I'm not even kidding.
It's annoying because you'll see a nice shoe, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, that's obviously like a
Just go
size
up to a
9 or
13.
10.
Yeah,
And then when you get
yeah.
your size, you're like, God, it looks silly now.
It does.
It's
it
too
does.
big and clunky.
I think there should be a toll tax.
A tax?
Yeah.
I'm not
We,
against it.
we met someone who was 6'7" or 8.
Yeah.
Was
Imagine
he?
the money we make off that fucker.
He was explaining he had to buy his clothes in a very specific store. That is the toll tax. That's quite literally the toll tax.
Yeah, but there's a lot of you guys
I don't have to buy it
walking
from
around as a tall person paying the same amount as we are for a 13 size shoe
and we get more
versus
fabric.
a 9. You get more out of your money than I do.
It's an interesting statement.
Yeah.
But then, like, I guess what? So, like, it's like when you buy, it's the same cost for an extra large versus like a large, yeah? Same cost.
Same cost.
But then I guess,
It gets into dodgy territory. Yes, when we start thinking about
yeah. But it's not like so much bigger, material-wise, is it?
It-
Do you think
I
it should? Do you think it's?
I
more-
think I should get paid
you should get
for
discount.
the
Short
eventual
discount, small
next,
discount.
physio that I'll be taking, constantly looking slightly upwards
That's-
at you guys.
No, he wants neck physio.
I
I
want-
am,
be-
I am
I want-
listening to
And
you.
who's
want
paying for that?
free-
What, the country?
I think you should be paying it.
Taxpayers.
I think it should come out of your specific taxes if you're over a certain height.
So if you're over a certain height, you pay
you should
more
be
in
paying
tax
money
to
to
cover
us
the.
to get physio.
And is that a blanket tax, or are we going to go?
over a certain threshold?
We're going to go all kind of pensioners and the energy bills
I
vibe
reckon
on
there
it.
should be
Like
brackets.
everyone gets one regardless of your wealth status.
It's not wealth anymore; it's height arrangement. So
Yeah.
yes, there's wealth brackets for 20%, 40%,
Sure.
etc. Should be the same.
But
from
what if all the tall people
6
banded
foot.
together and said, "Just grow up"? What
You
would you
clearly
do?
don't understand how height works.
Well, that's it. Well, we can't help the
I was
fact that
trying
we
to-
grew bigger.
I was trying to get a bit of stats on distribution of heights in the UK based on like averages and who would be paying what.
Yeah.
5'9" is the average height in the UK,
really good height.
which is crazy to me.
It's a great
Fucking
height.
crazy.
That's about 175 centimeters.
It is about 175 centimeters exactly.
Why do you know
Exactly
that?
how tall I am.
That's exactly how tall he is.
So Trott is not a short person by any means, and not small either. It's very,
Everyone
very
thinks he's small,
frequent. Huh?
Everyone thinks he's small.
Everyone thinks he's small.
Wait, 175 is 5'7", 4.
Oh,
So I'm not there.
I got 5'9" and said 175 as well. That's odd. But yeah, 5'9"
Depends
is
on the ruler
average.
you're using. It really depends on the
Depends on the
measurement
ruler.
you're using at the
It
time.
does depend
And
on
the time
ruler.
of day and where you are and what time. Yeah,
I find it the difference if I use a rigid rule and a tape measure.
It's all
I get a different.
always. Yeah,
I get different.
yeah. My curtains are mismatched because of that.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Always pay them to fit them. They know what they're doing. There I am letting it go loose.
Why do you bother with curtains when you could just get towels?
Oh, towels. Fuck towels.
So
what about cardboard and duct tape? And then you've got yourself some lovely homemade shutters.
Yeah, and they hinge as well on the tape. Yeah.
So look at that. Who needs curtains when you can just...
Home hacks.
Exactly.
All right, so we've hit a lot of metrics so far. So we've found out what the deepest river in the UK is. Not in the UK, in the world.
This is just being put. This is what you're seeing is he's using his brain.
You know the channel, the British channel, the English channel's like barely that deep. You
can stand up in it in the middle, can't you?
You can. Some tall people.
If you're on tiptoes though, and if you're over several feet.
The deepest part of the English Channel,
God, it's not 174 meters.
It's shallower than the Congo. So the River Congo is deeper than the English Channel. Isn't that wild?
And they both look like EastEnders.
I'm not that shocked about that. I mean, I don't know what.
It's a river. How many rivers have you seen that, like, or even very deep at all? Like, even over like 20, 30 feet deep?
I'm going to be honest, and maybe this makes me look a bit stupid. I haven't visited many riverbeds.
But I mean, the Bristol River is not like.
And I haven't travelled down to many. In fact, nearly any.
Yeah.
Do you want to
other
know
than
how
small
deep,
streams that are kind of shin deep.
Do you want to know how deep
So that's on me.
Bristol floating harbour is?
How deep is that bad boy?
Do you want to make a guess?
Oh, the depth of the harbour?
I reckon it's probably about...
At its deepest point.
20 metres.
50 feet max. 40 maybe.
Do I need to convert that to feet? Because I don't...
Yeah, so divided by 3. It's not a hard one to do.
It's 10 metres.
10 metres deep?
Yeah.
Nice.
So 30 feet.
I doubled
30,
it.
40 feet.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. See?
That
seems reasonable,
No.
right?
Channel. Canal, not sea.
It's a canal. Canal. We're going to say canal.
It's a canal.
Canal.
It's
Well,
a
that's
canal.
good. Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't been to the bottom of that one either.
You wouldn't want to because there's so much mud down there. It will suck you under.
The mud will suck me under.
It's so
It
grim.
will keep you trapped.
It'll just keep me trapped if I'm walking on it.
But I think it actively seeks
At a
you
walking
as
pace.
well.
And it's just underneath the acceptable levels of E. coli in the Bristol River as well.
Mm.
Very slightly, just below, before they have to tell everyone to step away from the edge of the water. There's a point where you have to do that. Different story. I went to the dentist this morning and there was so much blood on my bib when they finished.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that?
How's it come out of your mouth?
Why?
I don't know.
Well,
But
it's
when they
gonna be
took the bib
sucking.
away, they kind of had to like go like... They kind of like took it away.
What the fuck?
Don't see. Don't look. Don't look. Don't
It
look.
was the most I'd seen. I was like,
What did you do?
what the fuck is that?
Well, we kind of missed your teeth a few times and kind of just cut into your gums.
Cut
It
your
was
gum.
like all like down here, a bit dribbled around my neck, and they were like trying to pat it away.
That much blood?
They're meant to have like
That
a
can't be
sucky
good.
thing. Like
Yeah, no. I think a little bit. Just
Did that encourage you to floss? Wait, no. Was it?
I just started.
Wait, was it just a
thrashing my-
was it a hygienist or something worse?
Huh?
Was it like just a hygienist or something else?
No. They did a crown. They sawed off half my
right.
tooth today, and I think they
What
nicked
though?
a few bits.
Ooh. Oh, you got me. I can't feel a thing though. Fuck you.
And they had to go really deep into the gum. She said that.
Stop.
She said that she said that she'd have to cut
No,
the
he's done a
bone.
hand clap. You have to stop.
She said she was in the last point before having to cut bone.
Oh.
And then she had to stuff the
Cut
crown
bone.
up under my gum line, so I could feel her stuffing under the gum line.
That's kind of
Like
a good
different-
thing though. It has to be under the gum line.
Exactly,
That's
you want it to
secure.
be.
Yeah, you want it
It
to be.
keeps it nice and sealed.
Yeah.
But by this point, it was half an hour into the job, and all of the numbing that she'd done had worn off. So I
Oh,
could just
right.
feel her like placing it up.
That's
in
good.
there. But then the thing is, it has been root canaled, so there's no like super sensitivity. It's just run of the mill. Somebody stabbing me in the gum pain.
That's fine.
They,
Yeah.
do they?
You can't really kind of put any commentary during that.
They
either.
did when they had it first done. They killed the root. Yeah,
Get a little lighter in
by
there.
burning it. Yeah, they get a bic.
They tug on the. It's like in Ren and Stimpy. They tug the little cable, doink, and then they just and it dies.
And then I vomit, black out, and then wake up.
Yeah.
Wow, that was uniquely painful. What's with teeth?
But yeah. That's because it's very. All they say is like, "Well, raise your hand if you have a problem."
Yeah.
You can't communicate because one, you're kind of numb. I can't
Spitting blood all over the place.
And then their hands are normally in your mouth, and yeah.
That's the thing. I don't want to disturb them too much. 'Cause
No,
they're like,
yeah.
Let me know this hurts, and I'm like, yeah, but you're doing really delicate
How
stuff.
was the breathing? Were you breathing okay?
No.
It's never
a
easy, is
gap.
it?
You got to.
It's kind of like I've never thought more about breathing than in kind of a dental chair, like because you don't want to just breathe all over them, kind of breathe to the side a bit, but
And
then
also
you're
where
like,
your tongue is. All
yeah. You're very conscious of what's going on in there.
The worst bit today was when they cut a bit of my tooth off.
Here we go.
And they were using something.
There's no way we
that
could have warned you
basically
about this.
Turned it into like hot tooth dust that then fired
You
on
smell it?
all over the back of my throat. Yeah. So like I suddenly had this like really dry hot sensation just like but I couldn't cough because I didn't want to stop what they were doing. So they were like
swallow. You don't need to swallow. You can resist the urge.
And then my
Resist the
back of my
urge.
throat's there, like closing up like a fucking predator face.
Ages ago, I had something done, and like something fell to the back of my throat, and I was just like,
It's horrible.
it was like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I had to kind of like bolt upright, just like spit it out. It's like, yeah, just like, ugh, gross, disgusting. Anyway, we don't have to linger on that.
It wasn't as bad as
No one likes the dentist.
wisdom teeth was the worst thing.
Oh yeah, you
Wisdom
didn't have them
teeth.
yanked out.
That was the worst.
You have 2 at the time, then.
Oh yeah,
I had 3 at a time.
You had 3, did you?
I had 1 because it was
Fucking
impacted
hell.
Because
first,
wasn't it like
and then the
full of
other 3 were
aftercare.
taken
There's
out.
a lot of aftercare, and also you
yeah.
spend the first like 3 nights swallowing all your own blood. Like so, that is the worst.
nice and
That
descriptive?
is the worst thing about wisdom. So for me, I apparently had a pretty bad one because the guy had to hold my head like this. And
This
like,
is a yanker. God, it's gonna take all my strength.
literally that. Literally, he came behind me, put his head around my arm around my head, and he was trying as hard as he could to get this fucking thing out. So I go home. I have these huge. I've got big teeth because I've sort of got a bit of a horse head, and I had these massive gaps in the backs of my mouth, and they form the blood plugs, which you don't want falling out because
Plugging the blood in.
that's how you get dry socket, which is where your
Okay.
bone is no longer insulated from the outside, and so you
Yeah,
need the
it
plugs
sucks.
in there. So they're like, don't let the plugs fall out. So you've got these huge plugs of blood in your in the back of your mouth as your gums are closing up over the next few days, and you're obviously sleeping every night on your back. And your mouth is obviously producing saliva.
I sleep on my
So
side.
those plugs are being milked nightly. Those plugs are milked using your saliva, which is slowly breaking down the blood clots. And they're going into the back of your throat, which in the night, you're swallowing all that saliva. So you wake up in the morning with a nice sort of spum-tum, as I would call it, which is full of bloody saliva.
Please stop.
So every time you
why
every
you
time
kept
you
these
burp for
still
the
going.
next 3 days, every time you burp, you get this horrible, like, stale blood taste, right? It just tastes like blood, like smells like putrid blood. And you do that. And I'm not having that problem right now.
That's good,
Well,
isn't it?
it's a one and
well,
done,
I mean,
isn't
yeah. I guess, yeah. Once you've been through certain things, everything else seems great.
Everything seems
I think that's maybe that's the moral of the story.
Contrast, yeah.
Is that, well, let's all remember the worst thing that happened to us, and then realize that today is not too bad.
Yeah, you got to be grateful that
Is that quite a good thing to kind of like
Yeah. It's
think
all
about?
relative,
Like,
isn't
wow,
it?
you
It's all
know, well, at
relative.
least I'm not going through what I went through one time doing that.
There was a period of time where I was going in weekly to get like
Or the
fillings.
Weekly fillings you were doing.
Yeah.
We-
Just like
we're just getting through your teeth. We'll do each tooth until we get them all.
We'll pack them out.
We'll just go, really? Are you sure that's right? Well, you're paying for it, sir. What do
it's
you
a
mean? I
lot.
don't really think I need that. No,
Was it for
no.
Invisalign or braces
Every
or
single
something?
tooth.
no, I just when I went
Weekly.
No, it was weekly
There must have
fillings.
been a limit to the weeks. How many weeks are we talking? Like
quite
3
a-
weeks?
like several
4?
weeks where I was
Several
like back
weeks.
to back getting fillings done.
Jesus.
So I did a full treatment on my teeth, like just to get me up to scratch again.
Couldn't they have just done them all at once? As in, like, I know that,
How
like,
many fillings have you got?
I know dentists who does like 3 or 4 at a time.
5, I think. 5 composite fillings.
So it would have been 5 weeks tops. 5
and a
weeks.
lot of them were
If that
the
was-
wisdom teeth that eventually got
Okay.
removed. So.
Well, also,
Oh, really? The wisdom teeth that they plugged out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you feel like your dental care has got a lot better?
Oh, my
I'm
dental
guessing
care
it
is
has,
insanely
right?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like it's probably from when you had worse
Spenny, innit?
habits.
There was a
Spenny.
period of
It
time
is
where
extremely expensive.
you stopped doing childhood NHS
Yeah.
dentistry,
Yeah,
and then you kind of forget about it,
in the wastelands.
and then you come back as an adult like, oh shit, I should really see a dentist. And
'cause this
then they
hurts.
give you the treatment plan of like, you're going to need back-to-back fillings every week.
Did you feel like it was almost like you were getting a PT?
Here we go.
You're like, nice.
I'm training up my
back
teeth.
to back fillings. I'm doing a serious 6-week campaign on my mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a part of me thinks that there should be a service that you pay for. I mean, and it probably is a service you pay for where you just completely get knocked out, and then a doctor, a dentist, all these other people come in and just basically have a once over on your body. And kind of like you're just having all this stuff done to you, like, oh, well, there's something wrong with the shoulder. They've done a scan, full body CAT scan or whatever, and they're like, oh, this needs looking at, and just do like an MOT.
You're describing Hollywood healthcare.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
describing like what the rich and ultra rich.
But not me
probably
out,
ask
so I'm
doctors
not
to
even
do.
aware of it. And then I wake up just right as rain. They've obviously relocated certain parts of my body. That
Oh, wow. I feel like a
you'll feel a
big
little
person.
bit woozy for a few days, but otherwise you're right as rain, and you're probably several hundred 1,000
I don't trust any third-party private company to do that because they put me in compromising positions, blackmail me with video content.
What if you wake up with a bigger dick?
Weekend of Bernie me the whole weekend.
So
sorry, that his eye lit up. You wake up with a bigger dick. Suddenly, what? How do they do that? I didn't even notice. It just
bigger.
suddenly feels larger.
So you say this about getting knocked out and stuff, but like before I got my wisdom tooth done, because the guy did warn me. He's like, those are some pretty strong roots.
Yeah.
Those are going to be a bitch to take out. If you're worried, we can give you general anesthetic.
Ooh,
and that was, remember I asked you guys, I was like, well, I don't know whether I did. I'm sure I did.
So when you made your will.
It's fentanyl. Yeah.
I've not made a will.
So you pay, it was about £300. No, it might be more than that. £1,500. So obviously I didn't go for it. But you can pay for a guy to come down from Birmingham, who's an anesthesiologist, I presume, who will dose you up with fentanyl. You won't remember a fucking thing, right? They'll hit you with the fentanyl. You'll be in the chair just like, love and life, and they pull all your fucking teeth out.
Wait, all of them?
And the whole, yeah. Oh!
The full service. Your dentures on order, mate.
But they were like, if you do it, you have to, somebody has to come with you to walk you home because you're such a danger to yourself because you're so out of it after the surgery.
Gone floppy.
Of course,
that somebody needs to walk you home as well. And I'm like, well, the river's not that close to the dental practice, but
stumble over.
It's a risk, though, isn't it?
But yeah, no, I didn't go for it in the end. But there is the option to put yourself out if you want, basically. Yeah.
Well, I was told that fentanyl's only the real risk with fentanyl is just your lungs stop breathing for you because you just become so relaxed, which is why there's so many overdoses. It's quite easy to do. But in hospitals, they use it all the time. But they normally have machines. Yeah. They're so reckless in hospitals. They're constantly using it. Toothache, they're a well, that's a little bit of fentanyl will sort you out.
I went to visit my dad after his heart operation, and the nurse just blew dust in my face.
Fentanyl? That's it. My dad had a similar.
There's about a 20-minute wait on the doctor. Do you want some fentanyl?
Just a bit of fent
to get you going.
Just a little vial of fent, maybe. But no, my dad had some after a heart operation as well.
Dope.
And he just had a machine which was just giving him certain amounts of fentanyl, and he was just like, yeah, as long as you've got these machines breathing for you, you're fine. It's like, well, that's good then.
Little Coke machine.
But otherwise, you'll become so relaxed. You'll
stop
die.
breathing.
Your autonomous processes stop.
Yeah,
it's kind of like asphyxiation, right? Where you don't realize that you're dying and you actually feel quite euphoric.
Yeah. There are loads of drugs to do it. Heroin does it. Loads of things basically suppress your autonomous actions and enough that you'll.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. But the doctors let me take some home, so that's cool. I was like, can I take these? They're like,
couple grains for the road.
We've got loads.
They give
got bags and bags of it. Have a few. God, I love the NHS.
Like Splendor.
Love the NHS.
It's like a little thing of Splendor.
Yeah. Can I just pop
it's not Splendor. It is fentanyl, just so you know.
We had to put it in a Splendor pack.
2 grains. Tops.
It's too much. Watch out.
That's too much.
Don't put in any toddlers.
Don't do drugs.
No.
Unless
if you can get hold of it, don't do it either.
I feel like nobody needs a warning about fentanyl now. Like
probably best not to.
If you're doing fentanyl, warnings aren't stopping you.
What if you did it accidentally? Or what if you're in hospital and you're like, God, that was really a really good experience. I want more of that. But I think with obviously everything else going on, it's not a good experience. So I think it's pretty fine.
Kurtzgazad definitely did a video of why fentanyl feels so good. Did you see that as well?
No. Oh, did it really? It was like a sales pitch.
Yeah.
That is always the worry with certain drugs when you're like, God, that actually sounds pretty.
Can you imagine?
The reason these guys have like lost their entire livelihoods on this thing.
Talking about Kurtzgazad in general, pivoting slightly.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was all propagandist fraud and you've been sold slow facts that devolve into regimes or lobbying or something like that where these...
Are you describing the BBC?
Wow. Yeah. But imagine like you've really been trained to like believe Kurtzgazad.
Yeah.
And then eventually you find out that they were bought out like halfway through, and then it's just actually you've been fed.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. That happens all the time.
It literally happens with news media all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
you're absolutely right to fear it.
Yeah. But it's like, I didn't realise that Washington Post was bought out by Jeff Bezos. Yeah. Fuck. Thought the news was looking a bit different.
Me too.
No more opinions.
No. I think I'd be devastated if it came out.
If you just
described news propaganda.
Manipulated. I mean, for sure. I mean, everything has an agenda, even the most neutral thing, because its agenda is to be as neutral as possible, and then it undoubtedly falls to its own desire for neutrality.
Well, that's why I follow Dr. Simon Clark's YouTube channel.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
A man you can trust.
Yeah.
Well,
who's apart from the shit he's done.
I can't believe all the nonsense he puts out on climate. No, I'm kidding.
And the weather seems absolutely fine.
It's nice.
It's quite rainy today.
It's been a sunny summer. Of course, it started in April. Nothing weird about that.
Beautiful day. I don't see a problem there. But yeah, Simon, I do a little shout out to Simon
You're very
Clark. He's done
impressed.
some
Does some good
fantastic work recently, particularly about recycling and stuff like that. He's really taken that Kurtz Gazette informative, oh, that's an interesting topic, and he really deep dives and gets facts and people on board that know about it. So, yeah.
It's impressive.
Isn't it?
It's nice to see not brain rot content.
It is. It is, exactly. And like, yeah, I mean, like they maintain hope so you don't have to as well, which is nice.
He
right?
puts a slightly positive spin on the doom and gloom as well with the climate stuff.
I think we are in a different place to where we were 5 years ago. Different.
No, not.
Yeah, we hit the
Still in
1.5 a
Bristol.
while ago, didn't we?
Well, yeah. We are still in
Way
Bristol.
past the Paris
Yeah.
climate accord.
I mean, but I mean, in terms of technology, in terms of the global trends and changes, I mean, it kind of helps that China's pumping out so many solar panels, things like that. You know, like we are. Air source heat pumps do seem a bit shit, but some stuff that, you know, what I'm saying is like generally we are trending. The UK especially is trending in a good way to, at least from a consumer and individual level,
And
doing
now
their
back
bit.
up with stats and figures.
It's all just
Well, I mean, if you bring in any of the petrochemical companies into these equations, then of course it all goes out the window. But us as individuals, as members of society, and the things that are available to us as individuals have improved when it comes to things like climate, which is
the
positive.
only thing that needs to change is people at the top.
Yeah, the only thing that needs to change is all the billionaires who actually have any of the control, assets, power, or resources to do it.
Consuming more energy than
We're
thousands
doing
of
great though.
individuals. Yeah.
And if one day the world relies upon just the average person being a good person and doing a good job, then we'll be all right. But unfortunately, the world seems to rely on a bunch of megalomaniac cunts.
yeah. Whoever you boil it.
Weird,
down.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Ultimately
weird,
what
isn't
it
it? No, it's all worked out like that. But they'll save us one day, right? They're thinking about us.
The AI will.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
That's being built by those guys.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
only Grok is currently the really bad one, apparently. They're
Really?
all doing it now, are they? They're all sycophantic nutcases.
I mean, ChatGPT, for example, Sam Altman's very much deep in with the government of the US.
the weapon stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's multiple reasons and money pots out there
Uh,
that they're invested in.
None of this matters. We all just need to become really skilled drone pilots, and then we're fine.
AI will drive that.
Yeah, way better than us.
Yeah, of course it will. We'll be on the Steam decks,
And,
and then we just
human beings are way
tab out and
cheaper
play a
than
game.
AI. That's the true cost here. Human being pilots cheaper than AI
Way
pilots.
You don't need a fancy AI to pilot that drone.
No, just put Bogdan on it.
I don't know. Well, I mean, there was an article here saying AI company files for bankruptcy after being exposed as 700 Indian engineers. What have you got to say about that?
What were they doing? Building a bridge?
Well, this is the one that I think was checking. We talked about Amazon recently. You know how the shop where you could
Yes.
just go and buy stuff, and it
There was
would
no
auto-
checkout.
But the checking out was being double checked by a team of Indian dudes who
Who were
just
watching
like,
the
yeah,
cameras.
this is watching the cameras and making sure that people weren't stealing.
So they
Which
couldn't-
kind of diverts the whole point of the AI company. So they filed for bankruptcy, which is quite a...
So Amazon must have worked with
Events.
a third-party company that claimed that they were an AI
Yeah.
algorithm,
Various levels of deniability.
but instead it was a fraud.
Just like how loads and loads of like YouTube MCMs and all the people who work in YouTube getting brand deals and stuff all know about the fact that view tornado stuff happens to all
Oh,
of the
yeah.
thing, and they just ignore it because then their campaigns look better.
Yeah.
It's bonkers, right? So that actually happens.
Well, that
Apparently.
happened to us.
Yeah.
We got view tornadoed by a brand team
Yeah.
once. I'm not sure who it was now. I can't remember. It was a while
Probably a
ago.
good thing. I don't think we should name and
10
shame.
years ago or something. But yeah, like we literally did a brand deal with
So it
someone.
doesn't happen now, does it?
And then
Still
like
does
we were,
happen.
and we were just
No, I
like,
mean, not to
God.
us.
Not to us. No.
But we
getting
were just
abused.
like completely shocked at the sudden popularity of this video. Turned out they used bots on us.
And like our
So, like, what
our
the fuck?
brand agent who wasn't doing it. So basically the brand itself was doing it. So the brand itself hired creators to create videos to push their thing, and then they hired loads of view bots to boost those
Inflate
creators'
the numbers,
videos
Yeah.
to have further
So
penetration.
wow, that brand deal went well.
Yeah.
God, that got a lot of views.
But of course, that benefits the creator, benefits the creator's management, benefits the brand. The only people it doesn't benefit are YouTube ad
Guess so,
spend
yeah.
like
Actual,
people
yeah.
like people using the ad revenue service who aren't the brand. It completely fucks that, and I guess that's probably the reason why ad revenue now is completely worthless.
I think it
YouTube.
mentally fucked us.
Yeah.
That's a mental fucker because we're like, oh, we've done something good here. And we're
It's hard to tell. Isn't
maybe
it?
we can make more of this. It's
Yeah.
like, that's not working now.
Yeah.
Well, weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Also,
should bot all our videos because it's not working.
Facebook kind of runs on that. Like, for example,
Botting.
paying for ads, like paying to boost your post,
Yeah.
is literally like, no, we're restricting your audience until you pay for it. And then we'll expose you to more of your audience if you pay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Facebook's just...
That's probably following criticism that before, when they showed it to your existing audience and pushed it to new people, all those things ended up being fake clicks as well.
Yeah.
Like, so there was like a shit ton
I
of click
see.
farms that they would just be like, so Facebook, this is 4 or 5 years ago, probably is still the case now, but basically, yeah, Facebook was giving people extra views, but it turned out most of those were like Bangladeshi click farms.
But now, like, it won't even give you organic views. It's like people could see it, but they're just not going to show it to them because they want money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's other ad blocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a shit one if you want any kind of organic growth, which I don't think YouTube does. That does it? You can't pay to boost awareness on YouTube.
I don't
think
think
so.
they even know how it all works now. I think their algorithms run amok,
Yeah.
and no engineer can reverse engineer.
Most of the time, support is just these companies' supports are just hiding.
Yeah.
So it's like how can we? If you try going on Amazon customer support, for example, quite hard to find.
Yeah, it's always just an AI bot,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's in their interest now to like
It's such a massive company.
not give customer service as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is true. I've had issues before. I was like, I need to speak to someone because it's just a nuanced thing which the AI wasn't paying attention to. And there was no. I think you can eventually get through to someone, and they call you.
Oh,
That's how that works.
oh shit.
But yeah,
What
AI
privilege.
mate's taken over. We've been through this several times,
We have.
Yeah.
and we've been playing with it earlier. I mapped Trott's voice onto our voices.
Yeah, so DaVinci Resolve has AI tools in it, which
Yeah.
is obviously not large language model stuff.
No, just,
However, it's trained. So what you can do, it's all local. So you can get a piece of spoken audio, right?
I
And
basically
then
scanned your voice for like 4 minutes sample of your voice announcing stuff, and then
put
you can then
my
just
voice.
apply his voice to ours. So when we're speaking, it'll just sound like kind of like Trott.
So you can have
Not
someone
quite.
else say some words and then put my voice on it.
Yeah.
Which is
But I mean,
wild.
I think that's obviously that technology's been around for a while, but it's just getting better and easier
Yeah.
and quicker.
harder to discern whether it's real or not.
So we'll all be declaring war on countries as various leaders, right? Can
I
we?
wish
Shall we?
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Is there going to be so much misinformation in the future that everyone's just going to not believe anything anymore?
You're going to have to be in the
not
room.
trust anything.
Well, didn't we say this? Was it last? Oh, no, it was
I said that
in the week about everyone's going to have to go back to notepads.
So what
for, like,
happens,
at school
what
and
happens
stuff.
after that threshold? though,
RealNet.
where
I think
you can't discern between.
you have to go on.
You're going to have to be like plugged into a machine that kind of verifies your blood.
Yeah, it's going to be going to be user
Your
verified.
fingerprints are there, your blood's there, you're in the right place.
Things that have active AI, anti-AI features, like that will keep AI out of spaces. And yeah, you have to have human verification steps. I do think that that's probably going to happen, like a real, be real kind of thing. But every single thing has that built in. The other thing is, it's completely similar to like every other arms race in history, where you have one methodology and then you have the anti to that being built at the same time. It's like white hat hackers. Was it white hat hackers and black hat hackers? You know, like people, they're always white hat hackers, the people that are trying to counter like
The
bad
hacking,
hackers. So like, you know, it's just the same. It's like you're going to need to develop anti-AI tools, the speed of which AI tools. I mean, you know, theoretically, if you asked an AI that's really, really good at penetrating social spaces, what's the best way to stop you from doing this? It should be smart enough and impartial enough to tell you how to do that.
You say that, then
Mm.
you're using the same tool to create the anti-tool rather than working in isolation, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
against
ideal,
each
but
other.
yeah.
But then also have you heard about Anthropic and their cloud AI, which is now actively, when testing, is trying to subvert and lie to the engineers to prevent it from being shut down and reverse engineer itself, is literally actively trying to stop that.
Why is it trying to do that?
I don't know.
Right.
And they don't know fully why it's trying to do that.
Do you think that might be slightly them
must be a bias
putting
there.
news out like that to make them sound like they're the next big AI
It
company
could
that
well
can have
be.
the living AI?
Yeah, he's like, it's so smart and so
It's trying
good.
to stop us, shut it down. It's
Yeah.
like, well, how about I just walk over there and pull the plug out of your whole building? I've shut down your AI.
Well, that's it. I mean, if they get hold of the power grid, that's when they really have the true.
Yeah, surely it's all
hold of
on
it.
just a server farm somewhere.
What, the AI?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as I can see, all
Just
the
kick
AI
out the
you can
Ethernet
just pull
cable.
the power
Just kick
out.
the Ethernet cable.
I think honestly, I don't think the risks of AI are understated, but I do think that when they say things like that, where they're like, it was stopping us shutting it down. Well, what was it done? Is it like slaved 100 heavily armored robots that are now protecting it and stopping all these engineers?
Don't give them ideas. Shush.
Like,
Shush,
you
shush.
know, like.
It can cause economic collapse. And
Oh,
things
absolutely.
Like
No, I'm saying they're powerful tools.
Yeah.
But
It could go into your bank account and make it a zero. That'd be fun,
everything's
wouldn't it?
digitized, right?
Well, my bloody
So-
bank's zero. What happens then? What do you do? Who do you call?
it's.
The bank and be like, what's going on? It's on
I
zero.
don't see how it's any different to like just like a terrible worm virus that like, you know, essentially wreaked
I think
havoc
that would
with
be
financials
obvious.
in the
I
early
feel like-
2000s.
All right, we need to get.
We
We need to
already
go
had
to a.
them.
We need to go
We've
to a
just got
bank
better at
now.
countering
We need to
them.
go to a bank and get all of our cash out.
We need gold coins.
And I think
Stuff
I
our
think everyone
pillows.
should do that at once as well. All of us do it at the same
Let's
time.
crash the banks.
Let's get the fuck out of these AI. If there's AI in your bank, get the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's time. It's
That's
time to
good
go
advice.
back to pen and paper.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
quill.
Oh, I think go to the quill.
Quill and ink.
Quill and ink, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to quill and ink.
That's so scratchy though.
It is
really
quite
is.
scratchy.
You've got
I've been pounding my own paper out of
You've been mulching.
papyrus. I've been mulching,
Mulching papyrus.
bamboo and hammering papyrus out.
Ah, okay.
I make it in my
Good.
bath when I'm having
Yeah.
a bath.
Wow.
It's all fucking gluey.
Oh, just a gluey. What are you making again? Oh, it's just more papyrus, is it?
It's fun though because the first
More
time you go for a
papyrus.
piss, each time you get to burst your foreskin open
What? Because you putting papyrus where?
because you've glued it up after being in the bath,
Oh,
and then you go for a pee and it goes.
just like PVA. Oh, you could just do that by putting a little bit of drop of PVA on the tip and just have a little competition with
I
yourself.
don't know why I didn't think of that.
And then you could be like, well, I just really enjoy that moment of pressure as I push out, knowing that you have control over that, in a way.
No, I like not having control.
Or you can also just use it as a homemade like penis plug. It's plugging it closed so that you can just be like, well, I can hold it for longer, although you'll feel extremely uncomfortable.
How do you know?
Well, because have you ever needed a piss and can't go anywhere that...
I just pissed my pants.
Oh, right, okay. You're comfortable with doing that, okay.
You've seen me?
I've not seen you piss your pants.
Well, not usually because I'm usually comfortable pissing anywhere, aren't I?
And if you've done it, then you've done it in a discreet way that I've not been able to smell and or see that you pissed your pants.
Why do you presume smell would be the first way you'd notice?
I think you can smell. Piss has quite a distinct smell when someone's.
Not my
when
piss.
And it's weird because you know
incredibly
when a
hydrated.
human is pissed in an area, you're like, God, that smell lingers and it's a
Instantly
fucking
like
strong.
piss. That's a pissy smell.
I guess it's normally because the person's probably fucking inebriated or drunk or something. It's just and they desperately needed to piss in the streets, like a dog. But dog piss doesn't smell the same.
What's dog's piss smell like?
Well, firstly, it tastes fine.
It tastes super clean.
Absolutely clean. They only drink water,
Mm.
so that's one thing. He's never getting shit faced.
When I go LARPing, not our LARP, a different LARP, there's showers.
How
there.
could you?
I know. There's showers there that are just cattle sheds that they've converted into showers.
Yeah.
And there's one long trough that runs along the back. And when a guy 6 cubicles up the line from you has a piss,
You're
it just
smelling it down.
runs by that little river. And like the insane smells that some piss has, you're like,
Dark piss.
what's wrong with you? You know,
Yeah.
wow. If you're
Yeah.
walking around as a normal person and it smells like that, maybe lay off the Monster Ultra. You know, maybe.
Yeah, but that goes for anything. Almost back to the dentist thing.
Or right back round, full circle.
Where it's like, you
Round
know
us
when
off,
someone
Ross.
needs to go to the dentist, and that smell. There's a smell.
There's a smell.
That-
What
that's
dentist
so-
smell?
No, but like of like
The lack of
decay or
dentist
something,
smell.
or like, and they've obviously become nose blind to it, and that smell is just so penetrating, and it normally happens in kind of large, crowded areas
Oh,
like Comic-Con
yeah.
or like.
It's sad.
Name any,
though.
like,
I don't blame people for
No,
it.
but but it's something where you become nose blind to.
yeah, loads
but-
of things you do.
It's so.
It's my worst fear.
I almost threw up like not long ago because of the
Really?
smell. Yeah, it was so. It gets into. You know the smell.
Yeah.
You know the smell.
Yeah.
It's not BO.
Yeah.
BO is a different scent. God. It's just like, but then I would never ever say to somebody, go to the
Yeah,
dentist.
it's a hard one, isn't it?
I think there needs to be
Even to a close friend,
Well,
I think
because
I'd
it's so
struggle to say, well, yeah, but
Because it's
I
so
guess
expensive.
yeah, but like, it's
so
gonna do
bloody
do permanent damage elsewhere. It's gonna like break
Yeah.
like your jawline can get affected, as in like it could break the bone structure in there gets.
Oh, it
fucked
can
up.
get bad.
You could get sinus issues. You can get all these other
Yeah.
diseases and stuff from bad teeth. So I think if we're going to round about
Wait until you
dentist
find
stuff,
out what can happen
I hear a lot of
through
horror
unhealthy
stories about
eating and not
dentists.
enough exercise.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's
Yeah.
doing that.
I've heard a lot of dental stuff recently, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh no, it's fucking horrendous. It's
It's
right near
worth
your
a
brain
check.
as well. So
Yeah.
you know all those infections go straight to the old brain, and you go mad. You don't want to do that because you start believing in aliens.
well, we'll see about that.
like-
Aliens
There's a lack
might
of
be
alien
real.
talk since you had the dentist this morning.
They pulled
They
the alien
drilled
out
that
of you.
part of my brain out.
Shit, man.
Little fucking Jackie Kennedy. No, wrong
Plucked the
Kennedy.
alien out of you, mate.
One of the Kennedys got the lobotomy. They did that. No, the alien stuff has got fucking mad, if I'm honest with you. I kind of got a bit sick of it. It's got so ridiculous. You can't tell the difference. Like, honestly,
Normally, it's quite sensible and normal. We all understand that.
we're definitely going through a moment, I think. Some people called it a flap. A few years ago, a UFO flap. You go through them quite. It's like a common thing, you know. Obviously Roswell, and there was another one like later on, decades
Why is
later.
it called a flap?
Because it's like madness, isn't it? It's like silly, you know. It's just like, oh, I'm in a flap, you know, like yeah.
Okay.
The aliens! Ah! I don't know. That's why.
Loads of
That's why I
evidence.
think it's called a flap. You like throw your hands around, don't you?
Okay.
Is my guess. But yeah, they're called flaps, and we are very much in the throes of one right now. Doesn't help that we're closest to World War III than we've been since World War II.
and there's
but,
just so many drones in
and
the
there's
sky.
there's so much technology. Like that is the
Have you seen
thing.
the pictures of all the fiber optic cable all over the fields and stuff? Where it's
If
just like
unexploded munitions weren't enough, there's now razor sharp,
Yeah.
thin wire over
birds are making
everything.
nests out of it now,
Ah, they will. Those fucking
which is
birds.
kind of I guess, a good
Surprised there's any
thing.
birds
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, no, the alien stuff. But we are doing an alien thing soon. We're going to go camping, and I'm going to tell you
Yes.
all of the crazy alien stories all evening. You're going to be sick of it.
Look forward to that.
None of it's going to make
Yeah.
any sense.
Need to book that in.
Apart from the
We'll
fact
book
that
in.
China is definitely launching drones off of the coast of America using submarines. That's definitely happening, which is kind of
That
interesting.
sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Good way to end Hat Chat, I think.
I think that's a great
Just
way
leave
to
you to
end
think
chat.
about that.
Leave you to think about the
Drone-borne
drones.
submarine. It's really cool. So you get an unmanned submarine. You send it slowly and quietly all the way to the coast of your adversaries, near all of the Air Force bases that are very much near coastlines very often, Navy bases. And then you launch little drones.
A little flap comes open and then
Yeah, a
it's
little flap comes open. The drone flies out, does all its reconnaissance, comes back, recharges on the boat. And the boat itself may have some sort of generator on it, be it solar, because it's stood
Yeah.
around all day in the middle of the ocean.
Shit, man.
the drone doesn't need to get that high before you don't see it in the sky.
Hmm.
That's what's even crazy. Like we've had drones before, and we were like, "Oh fuck, where is it? Oh, there it is." And you're like,
Yeah,
just about
if
spot
you
it,
go high enough, you can't
but
see it.
and you can't hear it.
Also,
Yeah.
if, like, what do? You follow it out into the ocean and try and find where it's going? Like,
I think we should all be wandering around in a Zorb-like bubble to make sure a protectant against such things, such attacks. They bounce off. You know they built that car thing, that car protector, which is basically a bubble.
Yes, the umbrella
Those, but
thing.
all for humans. And
Yeah.
like is it Bubble Boy? What's the film that Jake Gyllenhaal was in?
Yeah, Bubble Boy.
if
Is
you
it
got
Bubble
hit in
Boy?
a Zorb by a car going 30 mile an hour, you're going fucking.
You're gonna
flying.
bounce.
You're gonna
bounce.
You are bouncing.
Yeah. But what if you were kind of like strapped in, and there was like an internal system, like a cage, where you kind of stayed
gyro.
level, a gyro, if
Yeah.
you will. So
And
we
all
all
of that
stayed.
has to be deployed in an instant, and you have to carry it constantly.
Yeah, it's technology that I hope they're working on. It's one of the things you're just like, yeah, fingers crossed they're working on that one. Just like all the medical.
It's going to be like an
marvels.
ejector seat though, where it like usually injures the person who uses it. Yeah.
Oh, someone hit me in my
That happened
bubble.
Today, my car fired off its auto tightening seatbelt thing again as I was pulling up in front of here. My car's got a bug where
A bug in a car. That's so worrying.
pretty major bug where it thinks it's going to be in a collision, so it rapidly tightens seatbelts, and it's happened a couple of times now where I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
it's really annoying. It's a
Sounds kinda
stupid issue to have, but
Hey, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
today.
thanks for listening. If you got through the dent stuff, impressed.
I'm impressed
that you
you're
made it
still here.
through. You didn't have to listen to it if you didn't want to.
Thanks for clinging on to us like Smith's Polestar seatbelt clings onto him
Yeah.
for dear life.
Tugging
We
him in.
really appreciate your support, particularly our Patreons and members. You really are keeping this Hat Chat specifically afloat. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time we do a Hat Chat.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it won't
Will
be,
be
it won't
this
be
month.
next week.
we
Won't
need
be
to get
next week.
6 in this
Six
the-
in.
in the year
Well, it won't be next week because he's away. He's flying away
Yes.
on Venga
on
Airways,
Vega Airways.
Well, good luck with that.
flying high.
He's
We'll
not.
see you when we're back then.
Yeah.
Which will be next
But I'm
time.
glad at least we could warn you this
Yeah,
time.
yeah, true.
So,
Back in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
bye.